morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone around the world. I am Paul Sisler, and this is In the Moment. Hello, hello, hello. A lot of things going on around the world. Was just experiencing a solar eclipse. Kind of cool, kind of cool. Today on Democratic Philosophy, we're going to discuss a few topics. What's going on in Congress, a little bit about Trump, and Cenk Uygur. What's going on there? And with us today, the host of Democratic Philosophy, Jeremy Baker. Hello, hello.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing today?
Good. I didn't see the eclipse or anything. It's just raining outside. We're in Pennsylvania, so a little different. It's cold and wet out.
The sky got a little weird, and I'm just like, God, it's just a little weird out today. And it's just like, oh yeah, that's right, the eclipse. Okay. So, all right, we got a lot of things going on. I tell you, a lot of things.
This is crazy. What's going on right now? I don't understand what's going on right now.
Well, when I tell you, I'm 54 years old, and I have seen a lot of presidents come and go. I've seen a lot of different things happen, and this is the worst I've ever seen our government when it comes to clarity, efficiency, and just so many other things. Oh my goodness, the chaos that's out there is just unbelievable, and the world, the world is it's unbelievable.
What I don't understand is how people get back. This should just prove that they cannot govern. It's completely deadlocked. Like we said before, there's a time limit on this. It's going to expire really soon. If there's 30 days or whatever, going to go by really quick. So, and their options for speaker are awful. Let's be honest. Jim Jordan, who was involved in a what do you want to call it, sex assault scandal? What's the other guy's name? Steve Scalise, who calls himself, his own words, David Duke without the baggage.
Right.
Who has had personal contact with David Duke. And has attended white supremacist rallies. That's your second option. Then your third option with Captain Crazy Pants, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is Trump, of course, because she's so far up his ass. She wants to be VP so bad. Trump, I want him for everything. It's ridiculous. And then, and then McCarthy's like, I want to get back in the ring. Like, are you guys high? Like, what is going on with this? And these are adults, grown people. Like, these are awful people.
Well, that's kind of the point that I was kind of bringing up. There was a certain professionalism, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. There was like a certain professionalism when it came to being either a House rep, a senator, the president. And you got people coming into Congress wearing a big A on their shirt, carrying a lasso.
Right? Yeah, you're an adult.
Dressing like they're supposed to be on some Mademoiselle catwalk or something. It's just It's gotten ridiculous. The professionalism of our government is just going downhill.
Well, see, I think
the immaturity of the representatives, they're not there to do what's best for the people anymore. They're there to get likes on social media.
Thank you. That's all they want. They're clickbait. That's all they are. They want likes, they want subscribes, they want to be on right-wing media. But here, I think we need to differentiate, because right now we keep saying the government. But let's show the first video. This is literally every single Democrat standing together behind one person, okay? And I think this video we have to show the difference of what a party can do if it's united, as opposed to what's happening in the GOP.
So, go for it.
Let's do this.
To Whip Clark, Chairman Aguilar, House Democrats, all those assembled, it's my honor and privilege to stand before you with the House Democratic Caucus, which has made clear from the very beginning of this Congress that we will put people over politics. and to do everything possible to find common ground whenever and wherever possible with our Republican colleagues in order to chart a bipartisan path forward.
God, you can't
to get things done for the American people. That's been our position from day one of this Congress, and it remains our position. Because we are here as members of the House of Representatives to make life better for everyday Americans, not play political games.
Yeah, get him. Like I hope he becomes president. I'm sorry. One day I think that guy will be president of the United States.
Right. You know, I like Hakeem Jeffries. I think he's okay. To me, he's still a corporate politician. All right.
He is. I mean,
now,
they all are.
Remember, I read the legislation. I look at what's being put through and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a couple good humanitarian bills out there. So, I mean, he's not completely he's not a complete bad guy. But what you're portraying here, which I agree with, is that there is unity in the Democratic Party right now.
Exactly.
You know, when it comes to the people that are standing there and they're showing their solidarity, and we're behind him 100%, you know. And as far as putting on a face for the public, that's a good thing, you know. And the Republican Party just isn't doing that anymore.
No, they're fighting within each other. I mean, they can't even pick one person. Every Democrat's like Hakeem Jeffries, instantly almost. You know what I mean? Like, we'll take him. That's I mean, and I think that's why they did this. That's why they did an announcement like that instead of him just going to some podium and being like, "I'm going to be the speaker." I think that's why they did that on the steps with everybody. Because I should have. Because they zoomed out, it's literally all of them surrounding him.
Right.
I think it's such a powerful message.
But it is. And here's the thing. When it comes to vote, you're going to find that all the Democrats are going to vote for Jeffries. Okay.
Yeah, obviously,
and that's where the unity comes in. Now, where my argument, of course, you know, what Gates initially did, not this time with McCarthy and ousting him, but initially when McCarthy initially was getting elected, how they did the whole bartering aspect of, if you want my vote, this is what I want. And I wish the Democrats would actually do that, because we could get more bills up before Congress that would actually help America more. You know,
but maybe like they're trying to do it. I always thought, like, even when I wrote my book, I thought there was a different way to do things. And I think that's what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Instead of holding one person hostage and making demands, they're all like, all right, we're just going to work together. And because I think right now, unity is literally the key to get through this.
It is.
It's just obvious. The GOP is literally split almost down the middle with the votes for Scalise. And then Scalise drops out after getting more votes.
But again, in a way, this is a good thing. I want you to think about it in this aspect, okay? Because groupthink isn't a good thing. When you have everybody that's thinking exactly the same way, you get no new ideas, you get no innovation. You're stuck in this thing of, here's a belief system, and we're not gonna change from it.
Right.
So, in one aspect, if the Republican Party actually had good intent for the American people, I would love what they were doing.
Exactly.
But that's not their intent. Their intent is, we want power, we want to be in control, and we want to make you do what we want you to do. And there's where the difference comes in. Because if they were actually doing it for the betterment of the people, I would be all for what they're doing. But they're not doing it for the people. They're doing it for themselves.
No, think about it. In the past, it's been almost a year now. Well, it's September, so it's 9 months, or 8 months. Wait, what month is October? Oh man! But anyway, they haven't done this shit since they've been sworn into office. What have they done to benefit the American people in the last? I mean, I think we said this. I think you and me had this conversation a year ago after they got elected, and I think we literally said nothing's going to get done. We were hoping some Republicans will be reasonable and possibly come over to, leave the dark side and come over and join the force. But That didn't happen, and this is the result. Like, if all we need, all we need, what, 4, 5, 6 Republicans to side with the Democrats, and we could get so much more done, so much more passed. I mean, instead of all the fighting, the rest of them could fight if just a handful of these people would say, look, even the freshman ones, like the freshman ones that want to expel George Santos, if they just grew some, I'm sorry to say it, but metaphorical balls, and would side with the Democrats, say this is ridiculous, and be, because what's going on is insane. This is not conservatism. This is by far extremism,
right?
If I've ever seen it. So I wish some people would come to the senses, because we don't even need all of them to come to the senses. Just a handful be like, look, this is stupid. Let's start getting something done. But we can't do nothing. We can't do a damn thing until they pick a speaker.
Right.
And then you want me to play? Let me play video 2 real quick.
Yeah,
like this is, again, this is what a united
House Democrats will continue to fight for lower costs, better paying jobs, safer communities, reproductive freedom, defend democracy, fix our broken immigration system, protect the right to vote, and build an economy that works for everyday Americans from the middle out and the bottom up. And we want to find a bipartisan path to reopening the House of Representatives so we can solve problems for the American people and stand with our friends like Israel and Ukraine and others throughout the free world. But the House Republican civil war continues to rage on, miring the Congress in chaos.
That says it all, really.
Right. Now, you were asking what they were doing. If you go to congress.gov, you will see that they have 5,959 bills in Congress, the House of Representatives. Okay. And half of them, at least half, are from the Republican Party. Okay, if not more. I think the percentage is actually a lot higher than half, because I mean they are presenting a lot of legislation. Now, when you start going through that, there are Republican legislators that are actually presenting good bills.
I'm sure there is. There is.
But where the problem comes in is that we have people that have no business in Congress that are promoting bills that have nothing to do for the American people. They have to do with restricting access or this, or taking away certain rights of Congress people, only wanting this party to be able to do this or that. It's ridiculous.
We talked about this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we talked about this like when we first started doing this. We went over this. They didn't pass a bill, but they wanted to present something to like ban socialism in America.
Right.
Completely. And then when I think it was the Oversight Committee or the Ethics Committee, I think it was the Oversight Committee, drafted a letter to denounce white supremacy or white nationalism in America, and none of the Republicans will sign it. So like that's the stuff they really want to target. That's why they want to privatize schools. That's why they want to do all this stuff. They want to ban any kind of government funding programs. And then they got people cheering for them at the same time, saying, yeah, socialism sucks, but my kids go to public school. You know what I mean? It's so funny.
Right. Well, most of them and all that, again, they throw out the word socialism like it's a dirty word, when most of them don't know that they go to Merriam-Webster and, well, here's the definition of it. Well, it's more than just that definition, because they don't look up then utopian Christian socialism, Christian socialism, St. Simon socialism, Marx socialism.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's so many different variants to it, and socialism's written into our Constitution. Article 1, Section 8, Congress has the right to lay and collect taxes. That is socialism.
I think socialism became a dirty word after World War II with the Germans, because I mean, you typically, what were they, socialists, nationalist socialists, I think, is what they called themselves. So I mean, that word became repeated in a negative way a lot.
it actually there. We've had some sections of in this country called the Red Scare. We've had like 3 Red Scare incidents, and communism and socialism. People don't seem to be able to tell the difference between the two. Okay, when there's a huge difference between both of them. All right,
there is. Google is an amazing tool.
And the bottom line is that the fear of us becoming a communistic country is what makes communism and socialism dirty words that people become afraid of. It's called fear mongering. But what people don't realize is that we are becoming a corporate capitalist communistic country because we're taking rights away from the people and we're giving all the power and money to the corporations, and government is controlled by the corporations. So that in essence becomes a corporate capitalist communistic government. And that's what we're becoming. The very thing that they're so afraid of that we're going to become is what we're becoming.
But I don't understand how they've been able to, like, almost, I don't want to say this word because we're probably got a lot of heat lately, the program these people basically to vote against their best interest. They have these people convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're going to do right by them. You know what I mean? Exactly. They have, it's like, it's
there's a reason why this is called the red herring effect.
Right. You know what I mean? It's not, we're not talking about thousands of people. We're talking about tens of hundreds of millions of people. Or, well,
propaganda that is put out there has an effect on how we react. And the government, who wants to keep all of the citizens bickering at each other while they do all these other things so that we don't hate them, we hate each other. And as long as we hate each other, all the attention's off of them. Well, now all the attention's on them. You know, with the left hating the people that are running government on the right, and the people that are on the right hating government being run by the people on the left. So the focus is now on government. The problem is that they're two sides of the same coin. And though there are differences and differences in presentation, they're still corporatized. Because when you read through the bills, you will see the corporatization of what's going on. I know you're a Democrat. I'm a leftist. Okay,
I'm a whatever. I really don't give a shit.
I'm an independent, and I see how both of these sides don't do for the people like they should. And unfortunately, there is one side that is doing so much worse to this country than what the other side is doing. And the other side is finally starting to get on the ball, the Democrats, and are trying to start to work for the people more because they're starting to see what's going on. And they don't want it to go the other way, because the other way is total fascism.
No.
You know, and I know there's a lot of people that are going to say, Paul, but, you know, people just throw that word out there. Really start looking at what fascism is and look at where we're headed. And I know that you're going to say, but people are just throwing that out there all the time. They're misusing it because they don't understand the true meaning of it. When the and it makes the word less potent when the reality is that is where we're headed.
You know, I think the irony of the situation is the chaos on the right has actually completely united the left. They've literally, you know, themselves. Their chaos is completely united the Democratic Party. Thank you for your help. And I think what I want to add to that before what you're saying is I think we have to realize now, and I don't understand how the FCC can't step in to do something about this. We have freaking networks on television dedicated to propaganda. Fox News, even after being sued for lying and getting ready to be another lawsuit for lying, is literally still the most watched news network in America. That drives me insane. And we have other right-wing networks dedicated to lying about what's going on in America just to help one man. I think once Trump's out of the picture, they don't have a backup plan. This is like a cult. If Trump is out of the picture, it's all about him. It's all about him. And when he's gone, Good luck. And I think the next few videos we'll show will pretty much present the direction he's headed.
Right.
At
before
least mentally.
Before we segue into Trump, let's go back to Fox for a second.
Yes, please. Please.
You get a chance, go to Fox, watch their news when the show comes on and when the show is over, because you're going to see a word that comes up: entertainment.
People are like living and dying by this stuff, though, man.
All right. And this is why the FCC can't do anything. This goes back to what Reagan and Clinton, let me repeat what Reagan and Clinton did in relation to journalism. Okay. Both of them together made it to where they don't have to verify their sources like they used to. And now they can throw stuff out there as long as they have the word entertainment in there. They don't have to be honest.
And that can't possibly be the way. I mean, I understand it's the way it is, and it's stupid.
Well, that's why is stupid. That's why Fox got sued in a defamation case versus the FCC shutting them down.
Jesus Christ! Somebody's got to step in, though. They're literally just dividing the country and for entertainment purposes.
Correct.
That is fucked up. I'm sorry, but that's messed up.
Money.
Exactly. But the problem is, they say it's entertainment. The people they're shouting out to millions of viewers, you know what I mean, that watch it, don't think it's entertainment.
Correct.
They live and die by the words of these news networks. Is the problem.
Right. And then when you
watch program these people, like I said,
CNN or MSNBC, which depending upon what segment of MSNBC you watch, you'll see entertainment come up. Okay. CNN, you're not seeing entertainment until you get to, like, say, somebody that, again, I haven't watched CNN in a long time, but when like Kumo and Don Lemon were on there, at the end of their segments and all that, you see entertainment come up. And that's because they could throw their spin on there any way they wanted, and all they were open to were defamation cases if they got caught lying. All right. So that's where that is. But let's go back to Congress, and before we move to Trump and all that, because we are without a Speaker of the House. How do you think? Do you think we're going to get a speaker put in there before the time limit is up and we no longer have funding again?
I hope, and this is if I'm right, I hope they're in such disarray by that time that at least a few Republicans hop over and just elect Hakeem Jeffries, because they only need a couple people, man. Just please, somebody come to their freaking senses on this one. This is a nightmare. You're talking about screwing over 300 million people. It's ridiculous. A handful of people in this country are deciding the fate of hundreds of millions of people, and they're not making it better for us. At least not on the GOP side. I will admit, you can't say there's not a difference. There's an extreme difference between what the GOP is doing and at least what the Democrats are proposing. I mean, some of the stuff they're proposing would definitely help a lot of Americans. And then for some reason on the other side, they want to take. Like they even wanted to cut like 30% out of, I can't remember what it was, before they would go the 45-day extension.
The Democrats are in a perfect position to do what Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Greene and Biggs and all these other people did.
Mm-hmm.
If I were in the House right now, if I were Hakeem Jeffries, I would reach out to the most centrist Republican,
please,
and get about 20 of them. They only need about 15 to 20. And then make an agreement with them not to vote for Hakeem Jeffries, because they'll never do that.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be shunned and not get reelected. Mm-hmm. So they'll never do that. So what Hakeem Jeffries needs to do is say, okay, this is your most centrist Republican. Mm-hmm. Every Democrat will vote for that Republican. And you get 10 to 15 or 20 Republicans.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
With that, and we can outdo all the other Republicans.
Dude, Liz Cheney.
You will support that Republican. And then here's the concessions. You do this, put this up, do this, make sure Ukraine gets funded, and blah, blah, blah. And we are there for you.
I might be right, man. Might be Liz Cheney. It could be. That would piss Donald Trump off. He would freak. I think his mental breakdown would actually.
The Democrats have the power to do this right now.
They do, but they have to get the Republicans on their side. At least a few of them. They have to have a majority. Yep. So all they need is that. So there are possible good outcomes.
All you
even
need
with
is
a Republican.
20 Republicans that'll put the right person up, and you can get 200 plus Democrats to vote for that Republican.
Done. That could be a possibility as well. Okay, that could be a yes. That's a very likely possibility. And I've heard rumors, and I always throw Liz Cheney out because that is a possibility. I think she's done with the Republican Party the way it is. And she would be an ally to at least some of the Democratic policies. And she's not extreme.
Yeah,
you know
what I mean, Cheney, either one. Boom. Yeah, let's do that.
Jesus, can you imagine? Could you imagine the amount of stuff we could get done? We haven't got anything done in 8 months. I mean, shit, anything is good at this point.
Yes,
I'd be happy with something. Okay. But I think, honestly, at this point, Americans deserve better. I'm sorry. We deserve a government free of corruption and corporate politicians. We do. And we don't deserve the wages that we're being offered. I mean, federal minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour, for crying out loud. I know states are taking it in their own hands and raising it, but federally, they don't give a shit still. You know what I mean? It's time for them to step up.
So, Mr. Jeffries, if you're listening, or please, if anybody big out there happens to get a hold of this, get it to Congressman Jeffries. Get the most centrist Republican, get 10 to 15 of them, and have every Democrat vote for them. Get Liz Cheney up there and vote for Liz
the whole thing, man. That would flip the whole thing, man.
Flip it. All right.
That would probably destroy MAGA completely.
That
is, I think, the worst nightmare that is probably the worst possible outcome for the Republicans.
Well, for MAGA Republicans. For MAGA
Republicans. Some of them probably like, oh, thank God, finally.
They're not even Republicans, but
she doesn't. Anyway. I think she wouldn't she's not going to put up with their shit. I mean, she said it out loud. It was like, you know what I mean? This is what happened to you elect idiots. Those are her words. And she's not wrong.
Let's segue into the next one.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah. So now we're going into Trump.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going into Trump. All right. So, yeah, I have some issues with this guy of late, and I'm going to talk about this on me and Mike's show on The Voice of Reason. Like, his mental decline is insane. Like, some of the stuff he's been saying lately, they keep talking about Biden, but this guy is like out of left field right now, and like just running in circles. I don't even think he knows what planet he's on right now.
Yeah, well, I think that bag of Coke that they found in the White House and all that was actually Trump's.
I mean, seriously, the guy I think is on. I don't think he's doing drugs, but I think he's on a pharmaceutical cocktail of some kind.
Oh,
definitely. And I think he's definitely overdoing it. So I'll play the first video. I think
he's on Adderall, but
yes, I do too. Yeah. And
the worst microphone I think I've ever had. I hope you can hear me back there. Justin, don't pay the bill for this mic. I'm blowing out my voice talking to this stupid mic. This is the worst mic I've ever had. Okay, now we'll get back to the speech. I'm trying to get their attention. Turn up the mic. Is it okay? And then I don't pay a bill and they say, Trump doesn't pay his contractors.
Of course he doesn't pay his contractors. You know?
I know. But the guy just says everything out loud. I swear he has no filter. As soon as his brain says it, it comes right out of his mouth. He has said some of the dumbest shit lately. Like he said that wind turbines were making whales beach themselves. Jesus, I can't even remember some of these doozies. He pretty much admitted he's committed fraud in front of the courthouse, in front of the cameras. He like literally explained how fraud works. He's like, I'm doing this and I'm putting my values here and my values actually here right in the camera.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was his lawyer, I'd be bashing my head off the table.
I
forgot to even bring this up. We got to bring this up. Okay. This guy, in the case of Colorado, this guy in Colorado was trying to take Trump off the ballot. I have to talk about this. They're trying to take Trump off the ballot.
Right.
Okay. So, Donald Trump's lawyers and this is true, everybody can look this up. Donald Trump's lawyers submitted what do you call it? Trying to get the case dismissed. And but the reason was, and this is true, and I wish I had the video. I might be able to pull it up real quick. The video in the paper they signed and actually handed to a freaking judge says Donald Trump as president was not obligated to uphold the Constitution of the United States. How can honestly anybody support that?
I know. He said it wasn't he said it wasn't in his oath. He didn't swear an oath to uphold the Constitution.
Let's see if I can find the video.
He did.
Yes. I mean, they're just saying, they're trying to make it like, oh, this word wasn't in it. Like, come on, dude. That's not how it works. Right. But I can't believe, as lawyers can't possibly be actual lawyers. Like, what lawyer would say, oh, yeah, I'll submit that and put my name on it?
Here's the thing. Donald Trump.
I wouldn't even do that.
Donald Trump's got 91 indictments. Okay. And I've read all the indictments, and I would say probably about 85 of them are spot on. And based upon that information, even though there are 6 Supreme Court justices that are basically in the Republican pockets, I would still think that half of them can see where this is all going. And unless they're beholden to a billionaire or somebody, taking rides on yachts and stuff like that, having parties paid for, excuse me. So unless they're in the pocket of somebody that's rich, if they're actually to uphold the Constitution, if this Colorado appeals goes all the way up to the Supreme Court, you would think that the Supreme Court would uphold it.
You would think, but you never know anymore, man. That's the crazy part.
I know. With the 91 indictments, I mean, I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. Read the indictments.
I mean, Jesus, he can't be innocent of all of them.
People are just saying this is political. It's political. It's political.
Right. His whole defense is I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. That's not a legal defense, man. And that's why Donald Trump is terrified of going under oath. He's avoiding it at all costs. To being under oath.
That's the way that the people that still try to defend him try to claim it's a witch hunt, it's political.
Just stop it at this point, man. Right?
Let me put a point out here for you. If it's all political, if the Democrats had that much power that they can steal the election, they can do all of these things, they have this much power. How did any Republican get elected? I mean, if you have all the power that they claim the Democrats have, how come we still have 6 Supreme Court justices that are Republicans? How come they haven't been removed? If Democrats have all this power, they would have already been removed. We would already have 6 more brand new Democratic justices up there.
There'd be investigations into all the stuff that needs to be investigated if we could just get a majority.
Well, if all these people are owned by the Democrats, all these judges are owned by the Democrats, all of these people that are, prosecutors, if all these people are owned by the Democrats, how is any Republican still holding any position of power? Because if the Democrats had the kind of power that they're being accused of having, there would not be a Republican in power anywhere.
I don't get it, man. I don't. Like I said, they've convinced people to vote against their best interests. That's kind of how a fascist society works.
Right. Well, common sense is just critical thinking skills just aren't there. People just, oh my God.
I hate to say it, but these people, I'm not going to say it on air and how I really feel, but these people have all unified under one person.
Yeah.
They are unified, and that gives them power. And we are not at the moment, but I think we are starting to get there because, like I said, the actions and the chaos on the right, and I'm not just talking about in the GOP, I'm talking about actions of people out in the street and all the violence and all the racism that's going on. That is going to unify everybody else because we're starting to get pissed off. I am, at least. That's why I started doing these shows. I'm done with the hate. I'm done with the violence. You know what I mean? It's
right.
But in order to do that, we have to have a change at the top. But we have people, again, voting these assholes into power.
I know. And again, if the Democrats had so much power, how are these people still getting voted into office on the right? Because the Democrats don't have as much power as what these people on the right believe the Democrats have. That again, the logic should tell them that they're so off base on their belief system. Anyways, what's the next video you got for me, bro?
Actually, man, I swear we share the same brain. I was going to say, next video is actually some things that Biden has done and said, and Trump compared side by side from My Touch Network.
Oh yes, I love this video.
Things that recently have happened in the since Israel's been invaded. So this is a good one.
Is with Israel. We see whales washing up on shore because of the wind. Even with subsidies, these companies are all canceling out because it doesn't work. So the whales will be very happy about that.
The whales. The whales.
Come on.
I have a much better body than him. But I'm not really sure that I want to expose it.
I doubt that, but...
Just no. I won't do that. I like his hair. I'd like to have hair just like that. Can I have that? I don't know.
This guy's ridiculous, man.
Remember that part?
Jesus.
You remember that part in his hair?
Yeah,
that they cut the video of? Did you bring it down or did I?
I didn't. No, I don't have anything else. I already don't.
So we have the worst education almost in the large world, the world that people know about.
That's right. The world that people know about. Is there another world that we don't know about?
Is there another world that we don't know about? You know, does Trump know something that we don't? That we are on other planets somewhere else? You know, we have other worlds for other resources and stuff.
All right, so we have two more. I'll just play the next video because this is Biden ad. All right, so anybody can, I mean, yes, I think Biden is too old to run for president again. I think he is. However, under the circumstances, we need continuity and we need to be united as a party, at least, hopefully eventually as a country. And like we always say, I think this is testing our democracy's strength. If we come out on top, our country could be stronger in the end. And so could our democracy. We could have renewed faith in the law and order. We could have renewed faith in the Constitution, like important things. Because I don't think nothing's happened like this since literally the Civil War, seriously.
Right.
And then we had the civil rights movement in the 60s, and now we're having this extremism movement in America in 2023. So it's just, it's another phase that we have to get through, and it's literally tested. Democracy's on the ballot. I mean, you pick.
Yeah.
What do you want? Democracy or authoritarian dictatorship? That's kind of an easy choice for me.
Right. So what was, all right. Instead of going to the
so
Biden,
next is the, I went off topic. Biden ad.
Well, actually, instead of going to the Biden ad, play the Kilmeade.
This one's good.
Play that one, and then we'll save the Trump ad for last on Trump before we go to James.
Right. This is not a joke. This is actually
under your administration, you guys never paid ransom.
Brian, it's all coming through Iran, and Obama he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to mention it. He doesn't even mention them in his statement. It's all coming through Iran.
So you mean President Biden. So, but right now.
I also mean Obama.
What do you mean?
Obama and Biden, but Obama is Biden's boss, in case you didn't really know that.
Yeah.
You believe
Obama
you believe President Obama?
You say that.
I don't think Biden knows what's happening, to be honest with you. I think that Obama is calling these shots, and he's always felt this way about Iran. There's no question about that. No, I think Obama and Obama's people certainly are calling the shots, not Biden.
So you don't have this just your gut tells you, but you don't have any proof that President Obama is calling the shots.
No, it's my gut, but my gut's been right about everything. So,
it's good.
They have an expression out there. Trump's been right about everything. You take a look go down the list. We've been right about everything.
So you know how volatile the Middle East is.
We're right about all of the people pouring into our country. Right about Ukraine. We're right about everything.
So
Oh God, he's such an idiot. He thinks that
Such a
this is his
narcissist.
words, man.
I know.
How does he, the leading candidate for the freaking Republican Party, man? For real, this is the leader by a ton.
See,
By
again,
a ton.
if you watched Fox News every single day, all right, trust me, the people that are watching Fox News and they watch this and they see this, they now believe that Obama is calling the shots.
Yes, thank you. That's what I mean.
You know, they now believe that Obama is calling the shots. They think that Obama and his people, you know, and how are the people on the right going to translate his people?
But now he's painting a target.
Make notice how make notice how Trump, when he says Obama, he goes, Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh, I have that video too somewhere. I thought,
you know, so when he says Obama's people, what are the people thinking? You know,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And he's painting a huge target on Obama to put his family in danger because these idiots out there be like, "Ooh, what if we take out Obama?" Because listen, I know that sounds extreme, but listen, there's 300 million people in America, right? Okay, how many millions of people follow this stuff and believe in this stuff? Now, I know there's a fraction of those people that are extreme, but even a fraction of a percent, you know what I mean? All you need is one or two extremely stupid people that believe in this stuff to do something bad to somebody. You don't need an army. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. They keep putting this bullshit out there. All they need is one or two people to cause a ruckus in the right way.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, this is stupid. This is stupid. Lock the guy up, lock him in a room, take away his fucking cell phone. The guy should not be on television. He should not be doing interviews. He should be locked in a padded room.
Yeah.
And a straitjacket. Like, you guys are letting this guy on the news.
I know.
Stop it.
All right. Let's get to this next video where Marjorie Taylor Greene's words are used against her. I love this Biden-Harris ad done with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Here we go. This is great.
At the largest public investment in social infrastructure and environmental programs that is actually finishing what FDR started, that LBJ expanded on, and Joe Biden is attempting to complete programs to address education, medical care, urban problems, rural poverty, transportation, Medicare, Medicaid, labor unions. And he still is working on it.
All the things that we need done. That what's this tell you about MAGA? MAGA doesn't care. MAGA doesn't care about education. They don't care about transportation. They don't care about Medicare, Medicaid. They don't care about any of those things. Wow.
You know, that's hilarious because she's on stage like, this is going to get him. Seriously, that's what she thought. When she was saying all that stuff, she's like people are going to, I can't imagine what people in the audience were like, what the hell? Okay, so why are we voting against this guy?
I wish there would have been a fly on the wall there because I would like to have seen, I would like to see how the reactions of the people that support her were reacting to her saying that, you know, that transportation, which is a socialist program, okay, that's something that Biden is working on. And the people going,
okay, but this is the same woman that thinks that because the sun goes down, that solar power doesn't work at night. She said that in a room full of people. I have the video to prove it somewhere, but
I know.
But she's like, I don't want to go to bed when the sun goes down. Like, man, do you seriously not know how the solar and wind power works? It's ridiculous. And this woman, like all these people, like even George Santos, man, this guy's making a ton of money to do what? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Not only are they making money from the government, taxpayer money, they're making millions of dollars off of all this other nonsense. Like we said, they're clickbait. That's all they care about. They want to build their bankroll as fast as they can. And if they never get elected again, so what? Now they're millionaires. Like, all right. So Lauren Boebert, she's a millionaire now.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say anything else on that subject. Lauren Boebert is the millionaire now. and a position of power and influence. Like, are you serious?
Corporate, capitalist, communism.
Yeah, this is the woman that barely passed her GED test right before she was running for office.
Yeah. He likes to watch Beetlejuice while being fondled. Anyways, let's go on to the biggest story on here. For those that don't know, Cenk Uygur, he's the lead journalist on the Young Turks. Now,
yeah, I get a lot of material from them, so I do thank them for the reporting.
The Young Turks have gone too far to the left propaganda wheel for me. Okay. But they do bring up a lot of good things, a lot of good points, a lot of good views.
They do.
I love it that Anna Kasparian is kind of questioning her loyalty to the left agenda. She's still a leftist, but she's questioning the Democratic Party, which I like because that's how I see it, you know, the corporatism. But I still like their ideology, basically, in the aspect of what government should be doing for the people.
Yeah.
You know, well,
I think a lot of the networks that I like, I wish people would get away from corporate news altogether. I mean, I watch these stupid networks because I have to for material for my show. But other than that, man, I can't stand that stuff. You know what I mean? I trust independent networks like Midas Touch. TYT has never led me astray. I don't always agree with what they say, but they've never like just spread a lie. You know what I mean? And other than like David Pakman, I mean, Brian Tyler Cohen, there's so many others that are dedicated to like analyzing facts.
Right. Well, see, you have like Jimmy Dore and TYT. You got that little war going on between them and all that, where, you know, because Jimmy Dore at one time was on TYT and that split was not a good split. But when you
know what that's
look
like.
at their viewpoints, Sam Cedar, my favorites are Jesse Dollemore and David Pakman. Those are the two that I watch.
I like Jesse Dollemore too. He's good. David Pakman's great. They've never, especially my favorite. I mean, I talk about them all the time. My favorite is the Midas Touch Network. I've learned, you know, up until I met you and after I published my book, I did not care about politics. Okay, I think I only voted like once before. Now I have learned so much from networks like Midas Touch, not just about politics, but how the law works. Because they're practicing lawyers. So
that's what I like about them. They bring the legal aspect and all that. You got Legal AF, which I really like.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes. So
Michael Cohen, I mean, you know, I understand what he went through and everything like that, but he's now decided to change. He's learned from his mistakes and joined the force. You know what I mean? So I highly recommend them. I mean, I watch as much of the stuff they put out as I can.
Right. So let's do this announcement from Cenk.
Yes, this is huge. This is huge. And I have mixed feelings about this.
You do have this big announcement, although you've already kind of made it on the set of Breaking Points, but now it's official.
Yeah. No, I had not yet made up my mind, but I have now, and I have filed. I will be running for president of the United States of America.
He was kidding at first.
Coming, cenkforamerica.com. And the idea here, guys, is let's change the course. Right now, Joe Biden is down 24 points in the economy, 19 points on jobs when he actually did better on jobs than Trump did. He's down 13 points from where he was in 2020. He is not going to win. I am running. Yes, I am a break glass in case of emergency candidate. It should not have been me. It should have been someone else, but unfortunately it was not anyone else. And now there's only 4 months left. We must change course.
A disruptor.
I have mixed feelings on
it. Yes and no. All right, first let's explain to the people. Cenk cannot become president. He was not born in the United States. He's not a natural born citizen. Okay.
Right. So all he's there to do is
So he believes that if it goes to the Supreme Court, it'll be overturned, which again, it won't be. Okay.
Well, not now, I don't think. Yeah. Not with the
right. You would have to do an amendment
place.
to the Constitution to be able to take that out of the Constitution. So
Mm-hmm.
again, it comes down to interpretation of the Constitution. You just simply, the court can't overturn the Constitution. That has to be done through an amendment. Okay. So can Cenk run for president? Yeah, he can run for president. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say he cannot run for president. It says he cannot be elected president.
Right.
Okay. So him running for president, I think this is a great thing. It opens up the whole aspect of natural born citizens versus naturalized citizens. I want you to think about this. The reason why that was put in the Constitution is back in the late 1700s, is because they didn't want somebody from England running for president and being a loyalist to England,
the king, right?
Changing our government. So that's why it was disallowed. Which
kind of like what's happening now.
Right, where in essence, I still agree with that, because we don't want like a Russian asset to run for president and become the president of the United States. So
wait, isn't there one already?
Well,
is it Donald? We already have a Russian asset trying to run for president.
Let me rephrase that: a Russian citizen running for president.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right,
okay.
all right.
So I misspoke, but yes,
I'm glad you said that though, because that was funny.
But I like the idea that he's getting out there and he's going to be calling attention to it. Cenk has a platform. Cenk can reach the people and have an impact.
Right.
I agree that Biden is too old.
I do.
I also believe that Trump is too old. In fact, I believe that 50% of Congress is too old. But
I don't believe Biden is impaired, though. I don't buy that shit for a second.
I think he's sharp as a tack. You know, he has to
mentally. I think he's sharp as hell. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think he just has to align his thoughts and make sure that everything comes out the way he thinks it. I'm 54 and I sometimes misspeak, and
when I'm watching, imagine being in front of thousands of people. We're on national television doing that.
Right, right. So and Donald Trump is sharp as a tack, and I know there's people that'll argue with me on that. Even though sometimes he'll fluster a word or something and all that. The man's still sharp as a tack. He's got a narcissistic mind, and he keeps his stuff straight. He just doesn't know how to shut up, and that's where the narcissism comes in, where he exposes all the crap that he's done.
All right. So if he's sharp as a tack, though, he's getting his information from the wrong place. Like, he's gone down there. He created the rabbit hole and then jumped down it and started believing everything that was out there, man. So well, I think this is mentally destroying him, especially this fraud case. Back to Cenk, though. I have mixed feelings.
Hold on. I want to add to this. I want you to think about all the lies that Trump has told. And how well,
no way to keep track of that.
And how well he keeps in line with the lies he's told. You know the old saying: once we start to practice to deceive, the web of that we, I forget the saying, but he keeps track of his lies pretty goddamn good. So again, I don't like the guy. He definitely does not.
People. I'm sorry. He's one of those people that'll lie even if the truth is fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. He just doesn't know how to tell the truth. I don't get it. But again, he's the leading candidate.
He's pathological.
All right, listen, people, MAGA, everybody, listen. All right, the president of the United States, or the one running for president, is supposed to be the best you have to offer, not the worst. What are you guys doing out there? Like, there's got to be a better person. And obviously what's going on in Congress shows that there really isn't, because Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise are not good options. They're both horrible people. So, but anyway, going back to Cenk, I have mixed feelings about this. I think he could draw attention. Obviously, I think every vote that's taken away from Biden is a vote for Trump.
Right.
Because you're narrowing the margins that, but in this right now, for some reason, there's still narrow margins. I don't get it. I don't get this. The polling, it confuses me how many people still support this nonsense. I mean, I think we showed all the videos we need to show that Trump is literally losing his mind at this moment and should not be running a nuclear arsenal. This guy's a danger to the entire country. This guy's a danger to the world.
Okay.
I think there's a moment, and I'm going to throw this out there. I think there's a moment where Trump actually admitted he has something to do with the attack in Israel. And one of his speeches, he says, and maybe this is me being over analytical because I look through these videos like crazy. He literally says, I gotta stop using that word too. He says, if I would have been elected president, none of this stuff would have ever happened in Israel.
Right.
All right. So you're telling me, what did you get? And we know there's a photo, and I have the photo of a room with a copy machine with dozens of boxes around it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Donald Trump's an asshole. Like you said, he's so narcissistic. Do you think this guy did not give away any of our national secrets? If you don't think that happened, I mean, this guy is probably the most dangerous person on the planet right now.
I know. Let's go back to Cenk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got sidetracked. I'm sorry. But I think he could also use his influence to draw support to Biden.
Well, is he running as a Democrat?
Yes.
Okay. So he's not taking any votes away from Biden.
I mean, he's not, but...
All right. And that's to presume that Biden is going to be the clear-cut winner. Just like Marianne Williamson. I personally think Marianne Williamson is the best choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Granted, she's still 70 years old. I still want a younger person running for president. I don't like these older people running for presidency. But I want you to think about this, okay? Because everybody's like, Marianne's pulling away from Cenk. No, or not Cenk, Biden. She's not pulling away from Biden. She's running against an incumbent president. And if the people vote for her, then she's going to be the one that's running against Trump.
Right.
Okay? So it's not pulling a vote away from Biden. It's who's going to be our Democratic representative for presidency? Is it going to be Biden? Is it going to be Marianne Williamson? Or is it going to be Cenk? Okay. Any one of the three.
Even if he wins I mean, like you said, they'd have to amend the Constitution.
Right. And that's not going to happen. So Cenk isn't going to be the front runner. Cenk is in there to stir things up. Okay.
So he could do that in a good way, though. And he knows politics. That's why I like him. He knows politics.
It's going to get more people out to vote, and getting more people out to vote when we have our person that is running for the Democratic Party, whether it be Biden, whether it be Kamala Harris, whether it be Marianne Williamson, whoever it is, it brings more people out. That's a good thing. If you want to look
man.
If you want to look at who the real disruptor is, it's RFK.
Oh, yeah. They're so pissed about that.
And look at how they're trashing RFK right now because he's pulling votes away from who?
They spent so much money pumping him up as a Democratic option. They put so much time and effort. Strategically, they did this.
Yes.
To pump him up just for him to flip to independent because Trump people like him. He is the only person, honestly, he's the only person I could see that if Trump were to fall, that he could rise and put in Trump's place and take over this MAGA movement. But he's not as extreme and dumb as Trump. I think Trump's dumb as a box of rocks at this point. Maybe he was sharp at one point, but I think he's on autopilot most of the time.
RFK doesn't scare me if he were to become president, okay? And quite frankly, if he gains enough momentum against Biden and Trump, and he actually has a shot at winning it, I will be voting for RFK. And I don't like RFK.
Hell no. That'd be, dude, the guy thinks that COVID was biologically engineered to target
I know.
certain races. Like, this shit's from a movie. It's not even real.
I know. Was COVID biologically engineered? Possibly. I believe it probably was.
No.
I don't believe
every country treated the outbreak differently. We treated it horribly. So that's why, I
didn't say it was a biologically engineered weapon, but I do believe it was biologically engineered. I do believe it was created in a lab. But
that's a whole nother show. Well,
that's a whole nother show, and that's a whole nother thing and all that. But I don't believe it was created to target people of certain races or ethnicity or something like that.
We can't have somebody like that and anywhere. And like, we can't have somebody like, I'm sorry, we just can't have that as president. Like anybody that even believes some dumb shit like that, or anybody with any common sense, like this is like flat Earth theory. You know what I mean?
I know, but I will take over Trump. I will take anyone over Trump. Anyone.
Well, yeah. Well, be careful what you wish for, man, because you could end up with like, because I mean, seriously, this can't be serious. Like that's why Marjorie Taylor Greene's up his ass all the time.
I would take a fifth grader over Donald Trump because everyone knows they're not smarter than a fifth grader. So I will take a fifth grader.
Anything. You're right. Well, yeah, at this point, but like you cannot like that is like the worst outcome for the entire world. I think is Donald Trump be back in power. He would be the most dangerous man on the planet if he were able to overthrow the democracy, because he's honestly just said it in court that he doesn't have to. He's not obligated to uphold the Constitution.
Yeah.
So what's the head take for shredding it?
Yep.
And doing some kind of authoritarian Nazi shit with us. You know what I mean?
I want to give a shout out to Paul James Reed on Facebook for the like. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, we got a like. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good show.
Yes, it was. All right. And we could go on for hours and talk about more stuff. Join us again next week on Democratic Philosophy. We don't know what we're going to be talking about. We got to see what hits the news. There might be more things on Israel and Palestine. I know we didn't cover that today.
That's a tough topic right there.
Yeah, it is.
Some horrible things going on.
Yes. Let's see. I am no longer on Twitter, everybody. I am no longer on Twitter. My account got hacked, and I'm not doing a backup. I'm not doing a secondary one. I got hacked via Twitter.
That's the crazy. So yeah, Twitter's probably been
Twitter support and got hacked going through Twitter support. So I will not be on Twitter anymore.
You heard it here first. It could be a big thing. I think this is going to develop into something bigger. If that's the case, that's huge.
Yes, I am going to be building up my Threads account, my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook. You will be finding me on these other platforms. I will not be going back to Twitter. And even though I am vested in Tesla, I like Tesla products. I do not like Elon Musk. I do not like what he's done to Twitter. And even though I think that down the road, there's a possibility things can get better, I think the platform is targeted. It's not good. It's just not good. It's just not good. So I will not be going back to Twitter.
Hopefully Threads will allow you to go live sometime in the future. They have to be doing a major update soon because they're really losing steam.
Yes.
They came out in a hurry, man. They came out, everybody's like, yes, an alternative to Twitter, finally. And then they really haven't done anything else to make it better.
Yeah. I'm already up over 2,000 followers on Threads.
How? I don't think I'm like 600. I gave up on it.
I'm putting time into it. And that's just it, I'm putting time into it. I was putting 12 hours a day into Twitter. And now I've got 12 hours that I can spend on 5 or 6 other platforms, and that's what I'm going to do. So
I like doing Facebook's a good account to build too for this kind of stuff, for creator stuff. They do.
Yes.
They have a lot of rules and regulations for their monetization, but it's a good platform to build on. That's what I focused on after I got kicked off Twitter. I got kicked off right after Elon Musk took over, and then I used Facebook as my Twitter account. So I just verbally diarrheaed all over my Twitter account or my Facebook
going
account.
Through this same thing with Twitter, so we
I think everybody misses having that one core. I mean, I like TikTok. TikTok's fun.
Yeah,
but yeah. So all right, yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I hope people. I guess the last thing I'll say is hopefully people see how united one side is over the other, and it clicks in their head like, okay, maybe we should be. There's got to be, and some people are never going to change their mind. We've proved that. Some people will never break away from Trump. It's a cult at this point.
Right. And if you have show ideas, if somebody has show ideas, I'm on Monday through Saturday. My my Tuesday might be up in the air, so I don't know. But if you have program ideas, things that you want to do, if you'd like to be on this show as a host, let me know, and I will be happy to entertain the idea. In the meantime, remember, be kind, be happy, and may good things come your way. Thank you.